Good morning or good afternoon or whatever time of day it is, lovely listeners. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Transform Yourself. This is the podcast that's all about empowering you to shed stubborn pounds and embrace your best selves. We are your hosts, Kacy and Tyler, and we use the 4 M's of fitness, mind shift, meal shift, micro habits, and muscle building to create attainable and sustainable weight loss. We've lost 130 pounds. We've kept it off for about 3 years now. And we are discussing budget-friendly weight loss today. So budget-friendly fitness equipment, budget-friendly exercise.
You don't have to break the bank to be healthy.
Yeah.
I think that is a common misnomer that you have to spend a ton of money. You can, but that's, I think, largely because there's large commercial interests that
Oh, for sure. The fitness industry is a giant commercial industry. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, pick up Muscle Fitness magazine and see like every other page is a
supplement ad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or whatever ad. Yeah. Let me mention real quick that when I was in my own personal fat loss journey, when I lost 70 pounds, I was an educator. I was not the calorie deficit queen at the time. I still had a job in public education. And I'm sure you're all aware that educators don't really make that much money. So shout out to all those teachers who are working so hard and deserve so much more. Anyways, I want to mention that I didn't have a fat paycheck, nor did I have a gym membership at the time.
You didn't even really do gym stuff.
I didn't.
For a long time.
I didn't. So
it was purely nutrition.
Yeah. During my own fat loss journey, I didn't spend very much on my fat loss. And so it is totally doable with a small budget. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So fitness is for everyone, not just for those people who have money to spend on a trainer. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do that.
Absolutely. In fact, I would actually argue that simpler and less expensive is probably better, largely than like all of these crazy. Like you get more bang for your buck out of buying a couple pieces of random like dumbbells or whatever versus buying what was it called, a tonal. That
I don't even know what that is.
I think I'm getting it right. It's like a little platform. Okay, so like the little platform we have in the garage that you can do like aerobics on kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's like that, but imagine if built into the base there was like a gear system that you could like do like a deadlift off of.
Oh.
But you could like through the gearing, that's how you changed the resistance. So you could like on this little platform that's small, you could set up like a 400-pound deadlift based off of a geared resistance, not actual weight resistance.
So I'm having a real hard time picturing this, but it sounds expensive.
It's very expensive.
It sounds very expensive.
It's very expensive. Yeah,
that's all really, I can. That's all really I can picture point. Is my dollars leaving my bank. So.
Yes, or a crazy expensive bike or treadmill or something. So,
right.
Well, I always tell people, before you go out and buy a treadmill, like, well, why don't you see if you can get a good habit on just like jogging on the road.
That's true.
6 months. Why don't you see if you can do that 80% of the time and then consider
getting a treadmill.
And making that investment, because if you're not going to do it on the road for
that is
free,
true.
Then
in fact, we just had a conversation with our family yesterday about a Peloton that's been sitting there collecting dust, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. Like I've been guilty of that.
Absolutely.
We had what was
elliptical.
Elliptical. We bought an elliptical at one point, and I used it for like a good 6 months or so. This was way back in like 2013, 14. But then it collected dust. I mean, guilty, been there. All right. So let's discuss home gym equipment. So we're going to take a gym membership completely out of the cost here because that's expensive, right? So what about those people who need fitness on a budget? So I would suggest maybe investing under $100 in just some dumbbells, a few dumbbells. You don't need a lot of dumbbells. You just need a few of them, a few dumbbells and some resistance bands and maybe a jump rope. And a few dumbbells, resistance bands, and a jump rope. You can get all of that for just under $100. And those 3 things can supply a fantastic fitness routine for yourself many days of the week. So you could, just grab those dumbbells. I have workouts that are dumbbell and resistance band only because I have several clients who don't have gym memberships, and that's okay. So
I think people really underestimate how badly they could wreck themselves with very minimal equipment. Like me being a person who works out 5 days a week, I could do a resistance band workout and just destroy myself.
Yes,
that is
absolutely.
Like
100%.
Like it is resistance just like anything else.
It really, you could do body weight exercises as well. If you do enough lunges, get out there and do some lunges in your driveway. In fact, yesterday I was doing lunges in the driveway with dumbbells, and I did enough of them that I wrecked my quads and hamstrings. Now I was trying to, practice overloading them, which I did. But again, do enough reps and you'll get there. Resistance bands, they're cheap, but they're fantastic and they're fun to work with. You can adhere them to a leg of a couch if you need to for rows, for doing, rows. Okay. Or you can step on them and you can walk sideways for abductor exercises. That's the outer thigh. You can, there's so many things you can do with a resistance bands.
Get on YouTube and there's people, I follow them. There's people who have entire accounts that are just about resistance bands workouts.
And you know what? Most people that are listening have a device of which they can go to YouTube. So there you go. There's a whole nother free resource at your hand. Yeah. Go to YouTube and search things like 20-minute resistance workout.
Or
and
body weight workout.
Yeah.
Like you...
There's some amazing people on YouTube that have awesome accounts.
Yeah.
And you can even
there's a bunch of guys who have like calisthenic only accounts and it's only body weight stuff. And they're on a different level.
Right.
But it shows you like you can achieve an incredible level of fitness with almost nothing.
Yes. In fact, there's even people on YouTube that have like a 30-minute walk. You can do a walk in your living room. And I know it sounds funny because you're walking in place, but they kind of mix it up and make it fun, these people. And I've been, sometimes when it's raining outside and it's been raining for many days in a row, then I will get on YouTube and do a 30-minute walk with some dude that's, got spiky hair and
okay, I don't know what this is about.
I don't remember his name, but there's some great people on YouTube that do walks, and I do it. It's free, right? Let's see.
A yoga mat, also great. You can get those for like $20 if you want to do Pilates or do an at-home yoga or just stretch.
Yeah,
just doing doing push-ups and doing squats and doing whatever else. A yoga mat's a great place. Great thing to use, like if you're like have a hardwood floor in your front of your TV or something like that.
Absolutely. So you can basically set up your own effective home gym for right around $100 or a little less than $100. So start there. It's a great place to begin.
Yeah. In fact, I would tell people not to rush out and spend $1,000 on stuff.
Absolutely.
Because you might go out and buy stuff and then realize like, this is crap. Like, I don't want this. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to use it.
'Tis true. Prove to yourself that you're going to get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Before you spend all the money.
Well, and spend time doing research and also there's a lot of really great, aside from Facebook Marketplace, places to buy used gym equipment on the internet. Like it's commercial grade usually and significantly cheaper and excellent quality.
eBay?
eBay. I'm trying to remember the name of the website. It's like Freedom Fitness. It's in Charlotte.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like Freedom Fitness, something. I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
It's in Charlotte.
Maybe you should Google this in a second. and so that we can tell people. Moving on to low cost exercise. So we just talked about equipment. We did talk about exercises as well. But ladies, get yourself outdoor. I cannot stress enough the importance of low intensity, steady state exercise. What that means is that your body is going to burn fat as fuel as opposed to using its glycogen storage as fuel. And we want that. We want to burn fat. So get out there and go on a walk. Go on a 10-minute walk after dinner. Go on a 10-minute walk after lunch. Or do a 30-minute walk first thing in the morning. Getting that sunshine is also great. Going on a walk is free. I mean, other than the idea that, yes, you have to have shoes to put on your feet to walk.
Which I imagine most people probably happen to have a pair.
Right. Yeah. Most of y'all probably have a pair of shoes to put on. I get it. But again, if it's raining, get on YouTube. Do those guided walks. Doing yoga.
Cool.
This is, or body weight exercises. So we kind of talked all about that. So let's move on to budget-friendly nutrition.
Wait, before we move on from the equipment.
Okay, go on. Yes.
So it is freedomfitnessequipment.com. And this guy's whole thing is he buys, basically a gym closes down, they sell all that commercial equipment. He sells their stuff on the internet. So,
oh.
Yeah, so it is everything from...
Have you bought anything from him?
No. I want to buy another set of 45s for my stuff, so I would probably buy it from him.
Dumbbells.
He sells dumbbells. He has benches. He has
interesting,
like all sorts of stuff. And it's he sells either stuff that's from like a gym that's closed down, and he buys he'll go in and buy everything, or it's also like factory seconds.
Okay.
So like a weight plate,
scratch and dent,
kind of exactly
scratch and dent weights, right? Who cares if your 45 dumbbells have a scratch or a dent in them, right? You're going to put it there.
Well, and that's the funny thing is, like, if you look on these home gym Facebook pages, that is like 90% of the complaints are, and not even just about them, but like if you buy a new bar from Rogue or a new bar from Rep, or you buy this from this other company, people bitch and complain about
the scratches and dents.
Yeah,
which is hilarious, right?
I mean,
why does it matter?
And I do get it. Like, you just spend a lot of money on something that you're not buying necessarily even a second, and it's got this on it, but it's also, you're buying this to throw it around. Like,
that's true. Good point.
So
okay, so let's move to budget-friendly nutrition. How do you keep your nutrition in check with a budget? So you have to prioritize inexpensive foods, right? And I know, I get it. Like, the processed foods are typically a lot more inexpensive than the fresh fruits and vegetables. That is true some of the times. But I would say go check out like the frozen vegetable section for sure, because it will last you a long time. It won't go bad. That way you won't be wasting your money on throwing out bananas that went bad or throwing out apples that went bad. So spend some money on some frozen fruits and vegetables. Add those to your meals instead. They can be just as nutrient dense. Kind of depends on how you cook them, but they can retain quite a bit of nutrients in frozen vegetables and fruits to throw in smoothies, those kind of things. Eggs. I know eggs
are the best.
Eggs are so good, but they've spiked in price I actually looked at a graph.
Crazy.
Yeah, eggs have spiked in price. So eggs are typically a lower budget protein. I get that they have spiked in price, but I think that everything has at this moment. So when you compare egg protein, because a simple hard-boiled egg is 70 calories, 6 grams of protein. And when you compare that to other sources of protein in the price, eggs, eggs over beef or eggs over chicken, eggs are going to be a lower cost protein.
Eggs are and it's like almost the perfect protein. Eggs are about as close to perfect as you can get.
They are a great source of protein.
Have I told you about the guy that I went to high school with that just started an egg podcast?
Wait, a podcast about eggs?
I know this sounds like I'm setting up a bad joke or something stupid, but yeah, there's a guy that
Of course you were friends with that guy.
Well, he was actually the quarterback for our football team.
Shut up.
Yeah. He has
a podcast about eggs.
It's called Eggheads. It's only about eggs. But here's the thing: like, that's his business. He He works for his dad's construction company, or he started his own.
Okay.
But building like commercial facilities for egg producers.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, okay. I mean, I get it.
It's a niche.
It is.
People are into eggs, I suppose.
Eggs are excellent.
I mean, I'm into eggs, but I'm not going to listen to an egg podcast. Maybe I will.
But
I'm interested. I'm
intrigued. You also
intrigued.
got to think that there's probably a lot of people that chickens and eggs are like literally their bread and butter.
That is true.
Pardon the pun, I guess. It's not even very funny. But there's a lot of people that probably would be interested because their life is producing chickens or producing eggs. That's a lot of people in this country.
Yeah.
I would love to have chickens. I'd rather have chickens than a dog.
You'd rather have chickens than a dog.
What the hell does that dog do for us?
You have chicken shit everywhere.
Yeah,
that'd be gross.
Well, but
I guess you have dog shit in the backyard too.
but you know what? Chicken poop can be used as fertilizer.
Yeah, I don't.
And then you can eat the chicken, and you can also eat the eggs.
That's true.
The dog it contributes nothing to our family.
The dog is so sweet, though. She's so sweet, and our kids love her.
She just walks around farting in her house. That's all that dog does.
So, okay, back to nutrition. Canned tuna and canned chicken is cheap, y'all. And I know some of y'all are like immediately puke when you think about canned meat. I don't mind canned meat. Canned meat's fine with me. So you can make a fantastic chicken salad or tuna salad with canned chicken, canned tuna. So go check out the canned meat aisle.
You've made pizzas, like a pizza crust with canned chicken before. That was
delicious.
That actually was pretty good.
Very high protein.
And I'll be I'll be in the camp of canned chicken is kind of sus. Like, kind of, I don't know about that.
But you eat it.
I will. But it's also very strange because I don't have an issue at all with canned tuna. I'll eat that out of a can. But chicken, I don't know. It makes no sense. Why that seems like that's a bridge too far.
What about salmon?
Yeah, I would do. Yeah, that's the same.
Okay. Just curious.
What about other kind of meats? Like ground beef? Have you seen the viral chub of beef from Costco?
I have seen the viral chub of beef from Costco, but the giant one that you can buy and then freeze. Yes. But I feel like somebody commented on one of those videos and said, and how big is it? I think it's like
10 pounds.
10 pounds of beef
like that, yeah.
That you can buy in bulk. So yeah, buying in bulk will help save you money. So if your Costco sells that giant chub of beef, then go for it. I don't know. I don't think that all Costcos will do that.
That's what I never understand those kind of videos because it's like, oh, this viral hack from Costco doesn't want you to know about. It's like, well, if it's something that's going to sell a lot, they would want you to know. Like,
yeah,
they're in the business of making money.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I don't understand those.
But we do buy most of our meats from Costco. We have our local grocery store, H-E-B, which we also buy meats from, but I like to buy my meat in bulk when I can. It does save some dollars overall. But we also buy a 50-pound bag of rice. Mm-hmm. And it is getting low. A 50-pound bag of rice will cost you around $50 to $60. Mm-hmm. Way cheaper than buying rice by the 2-pound bag that you get in the grocery store. Way cheaper. You will save a ton of money if you just grab a food grade bucket, people.
In a food grade lid. We don't need to go down that road again. The internet. Right. Ooh, they were coming for you.
Yeah, they did
on
come
a
for me.
Non-food grade bucket.
It was terrible. I'll never do that again. But buy a food grade bucket. Buy yourself a 50-pound bag of rice if you can.
Yeah.
And you can even get them. I looked on Amazon. You can get 50-pound bags of rice on Amazon. They're a little more expensive than they are in Costco.
I feel so
and get it delivered to your door.
I know, but don't you feel bad about
for the delivery person?
Yeah, they're like, you got this poor little girl.
It's a good weightlifting.
She's 19. She's 5'6", 119 pounds. Like, she's little. And then she's like,
she's trying to drag your 50-pound bag of rice to your door.
It's like, I'm so healthy. Like watching, like you're sitting on the porch, like eating a candy bar, watching this poor little girl struggle to bring your bag of rice in. That's how I would feel, at least.
So, I mean, it saves money. And our 50-pound bag of rice, and we eat a lot of rice. We eat rice weekly,
yes,
at least.
Times
in fact, our child, her very favorite food is rice. If you ask her what she wants to eat, she just wants rice.
Yes.
She wants it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, everything. But So we eat a lot of rice, and we take about 8 months to go through a 50-pound bag. I would imagine that the average family would probably take about a year to go through that 50-pound bag. Yeah. So it's, a giant money saver.
Yep. It's easy. The bucket is not expensive. And in the lid,
where did you get the bucket?
I think it was from Ace. I think it was
Ace Hardware.
But yeah, you can get them anywhere. You just have to make sure it's a food grade.
And it says food grade on it, right?
It'll be labeled. Yeah.
Right. I thought so. Check coupons. Listen, when I was in a serious budget, I would go to Aldi. I would stop going to the regular grocery stores and I would go to Aldi. I have no problem with going to Aldi and looking around their produce section because it is much cheaper than other grocery stores.
Yeah.
So check that out. It's gonna save you money.
Yeah. Might even consider anything local. The places where you get local stuff, you might be able to get a good price on something that's very high quality. Another thing I really would like to do is buy half a cow. I really would like to do that.
You want to buy half a cow?
I think we should look at the economics of it and see
if it would save money.
I think it would be expensive. Clearly, you're buying a lot of meat at once, but you usually
over time it would save money.
Yeah, usually you can buy half of a cow worth of
Which
beef.
half are we going to get? Can we get the good half? I mean, I don't.
I think
when you buy a half a cow,
it's not butt or front. It's left or right.
Okay.
It's like I want the ass in.
Right. I don't want the head and the ass of the cow.
Yeah. It's gonna be left or right.
Clearly, I know nothing about buying a cow.
Yeah. I think pretty much what they do is they butcher a cow into all of its cuts, and then you just get half of it. Okay. Well, however that shakes out.
Okay.
So, but I think normally it works out to where you're buying everything.
Do they ground it for you?
You're buying steaks.
That sounds expensive.
You're buying steaks. You're buying ground meat. You're buying.
I guess if you. Yeah, give me a budget on that. I want to see the breakdown on this.
There's the butcher shop that's near us. I don't think they do that, but there are some around us that do.
Okay. Well, maybe we should. I'd like to circle back on this conversation.
Okay.
And get a budget on that. And
maybe we should do
see.
that. Let's do an episode about buying a cow.
Just call it buying a cow.
Yeah.
I'll let you spearhead that. It sounds good. I like it. And then we can talk about all the meals that we made with it. So that might be a while that might be a 2025 podcast. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's just beef. Whatever. Beef. Yeah. Burgers.
All things beef.
Yeah. That's what made this country great.
So meal prepping, it is a great way to help you also reduce food waste. This, of course, is for people who don't mind eating, I guess, what you would think. Yeah, eating repetitively, eating leftovers. Here's the thing.
It makes it easier. Man, it's a burden to think about cooking a thoughtful, delicious, prepared meal every day. That is unrealistic for most Americans.
I will tell you that the women that are either my one-on-one clients or the women that are in my group coaching programs, the women that do meal prep and have repetitive eating habits are the ones that are seeing the most results.
Absolutely.
It is true.
You take all those decisions out.
Yes.
It's like they are all your decisions are made on Sunday and you don't have to make them all week. So that makes them so much easier to stick to.
Yeah, because I can tell you on a Wednesday night at 6 p.m., you have decision fatigue.
Yes.
You've been working all week. You've been dealing with kids. You've been dealing with whatever it is in your life you're dealing with. I for sure have decision fatigue. How many times have we ended up, I will tell you, like on a Friday night at a grocery store, because we meal prep for the week and then by Thursday it's usually done. And by Friday, the two of us are in a grocery store, and what is it? It did happen this weekend. And I look at you and I'm like, what are we having for dinner?
But no. You look at me mad because you're mad that we have to figure this out. And you want me to make the decision?
I do.
But you don't like the decision I'm going to make.
I do. So I usually look at him. I'm like, I don't want to make the decision. I am not making the decision. So make the decision for us, Tyler.
But then
he makes the decision and I tell him it's a terrible decision.
Yes. That's why the dealer's rule needs to be implemented, that if you want to say if you want to say you get to make the choice, it means you got to go along with it.
That's true. Good point. I think we ended up having burgers and hot dogs.
Yeah.
You ended up
burgers and glizzies. Yeah.
Yeah. It was delicious.
It was good. I liked it.
With low-calorie bun, of course.
With a low-calorie bun, lean beef.
Lean, 96%. It was delicious. It was a good meal.
Yeah. I like a burger.
The point is you have to get creative. You have to still have consistency if you want weight loss on a budget. So get creative with how you're going to work out, but be consistent with it. Get out there and do your walks. Get those dumbbells and bands. Be consistent with it. Show up for yourself. Check out the bulk items that you might be able to buy. Check out that canned meat section of your grocery store. The frozen vegetables are going to be cheaper. So it is doable. It is something that you can do. You don't have to go out and get expensive supplements. That is not what you have to do. Of course, it's great to have them, but you don't have to have them to lose fat.
Certainly not getting started.
Right.
Like the first...
In fact, we didn't.
We really don't now.
So we have, the amount of protein powder that we have in the bottom of our pantry is
okay. I'll give
immense.
I'll give you that.
I want you to guess how many
Price is Right rules. How many containers of protein powder do we have in our pantry
at the moment? Mm-hmm. What would you guess?
6.
I think it's closer to 10. There's at least 5 or 6 of Sweat Ethic alone in our pantry.
And there's 2 that are another brand.
Yes, that my husband
that
likes.
I purchased that Kacy is not affiliated with in any way, shape, or form.
All right.
Also, do want to try Costco has a protein powder.
I haven't tried theirs yet.
I've heard it's decent. This is such like nerd like gym talk. Like, oh, Costco, there's Kirkland brand protein powder now. I can't wait. That's so nerdy. Like so gym nerd.
It does. It's possible to lose weight and stay fit without spending a fortune. That's just bottom line what it is. So I encourage you listeners to make budget-friendly choices in both fitness and nutrition. If you're looking for more weight loss resources, if you need to calculate your calorie deficit, if you're looking for low-calorie cookbooks, you can find all of that at thecaloriedeficitqueen.com. Thank you for joining us on another fun episode of Transform Yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, share the love, and until next time, keep shining, keep smiling, and keep transforming yourself.
Adios.